Hello, welcome to another video. Today, as you can tell from the thumbnail and title of this video, I'm doing a book babble on a book that I've recently read. I haven't said that in such a long time because I haven't done a book babble in such a long time. I'm gonna try and get back into doing them, and I'm gonna start off with a book that I've recently read, and that is Go in the Deep by Adrian Young. This I read for the Charms Extra Credit Magical Readathon, so if you've watched my vlog for that, then you will probably be quite familiar with my thoughts on this book. I have written a full review for this on my Goodreads. If you would rather go and read that, or you want to read that as well as listen to me babble, then by all means please do. It is over there. But to just throw it out there, I gave this book a 2-star rating in the end. Initially it was a 3. I knocked it down to a 2 when I was writing my review. If you're not sure what this book is about for any reason, this is a Viking tale about a girl whose name I genuinely cannot remember, who sees her long-dead brother on the battlefield fighting alongside the opposition, and she follows him, basically, because she thought he was dead. Turns out he's not, and he is living with the enemy. Drama. I had so many high hopes for this when it was first released, and then I saw some iffy reviews about it, but I thought I was gonna like this because it's the Viking tale. Like, that alone excites me. Strong female protagonist excites me. The setting, the idea of the setting, like the northern setting, obviously I am really into polar fantasy, not quite polar fantasy, but like the northern settings and the colder wintry settings excite me. It just seemed so promising to me, and I was let down in so many ways. At the point of writing the review, like, it hadn't even been a week since finishing the book, and I couldn't remember, like, most of it. And I think that speaks volumes for how I felt about the book, because as soon as I finished it, I forgot everything. Like, I genuinely, without looking, could not tell you what the main character's name is. Like, I've completely forgotten her. I couldn't tell you anything about her other than the fact that she followed her brother. Like, just such a flat character. I knew nothing about her other than her wanting to find her brother and take her brother back to her people, or was that even what she wanted? I don't know. I know nothing about the main character. But for the sake of talking about her, let's find out her name. Elian? One of the two. Couldn't, for the life of me, remember that at the point of writing the review at all. And I almost didn't want to check, just to prove a point. Like, I couldn't remember her name. And still, I couldn't tell you anything about her. I remember her being shot in the shoulder. Otherwise, no idea about what sort of person she is. The other main characters, Fisk is the main male character who ends up being the love interest. Slightly more memorable because I can remember his name without checking, but otherwise, I don't know what sort of person he is. I still don't know, what are his hopes and dreams? I don't know. I don't know anything about him because the characters were flat. The brother character, his name was Eerie. I know that he was obviously a survivor of a near-death experience because they thought he was dead. I know that he grew and found love and was gonna get married and stuff, but as a person, I don't know what he's like because the characters were flat. Like, in terms of character traits, I couldn't tell you what any of their character traits are, like, at all, because they were completely underdeveloped, in my opinion. In terms of the plot, like, genuinely, for the first 200 pages, I felt like nothing happened. Like, nothing happened. I was bored. Like, our main character is following her brother. That is the plot. She's following him. She goes with him to where he is. I don't want to spoil it, so I won't say, like, what that is, but obviously from the blurb, he's fighting with the opposition, so it's not even a spoiler that she's going to go to the opposition's camp because she's following her brother. So there's that. I mean, that might even say that in the blurb. Yeah, it does. In the synopsis, it tells you that, so that's not a spoiler. The synopsis tells you exactly what happens within the first 200 pages. She follows her brother to the opposition's camp and has to survive a winter with them. That's what happens in 200 pages. Literally, no character development, no plot development, nothing happens, it's just her being there. I was bored. So bored because nothing was happening. I mean, the last 50 pages, at as I said, at the point of writing it, I gave it 3 stars. The final 50 pages, at the time, I thought redeemed a star, which is why I gave it 3. I now can't remember what happened. I remember there being slightly more action and a resolution, but what was the resolution to? Like, I now can't remember what happened there. So I've deducted that star back off, because if I can't remember why I rated that extra star, what I thought deserved it, then it doesn't deserve that extra star. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on it, but I genuinely don't, like, in terms of a plot, it was just so lacking. Moving on to the writing, I feel like I'm being really quick and just flying through things I didn't like about this book. The writing was first person. First person is typically not my preferred method of storytelling, but there are some examples where it's done well. This wasn't one of them. This, when I was reading it, like, I was only 30 pages in and I was with Ashley. I might have mentioned it in my reading vlog, I can't remember. But it was very, I did this, I did that. I went here, I saw this, I said that, I saw this, I did that. It's like, holy shit, I don't care, move on. Like, do something interesting, get to something interesting. I don't care. Like, I picked the berry, I moved the bowl, I ate the berry. Good for you! What's happening? Do you get what I mean? Like, that wasn't great, in my opinion. Moving on to atmosphere. Atmosphere is very important to me in a book. I am very much an atmospheric reader. If I can feel like part of it, if I can sense this world around me, then like amazing. Couldn't do that with this at all. The only redeeming factor in terms of the atmosphere was the wintry setting, because I have a soft spot for that anyway, and I think that is potentially how it got a 2-star rating from me. I did like the wintry setting and the kind of atmosphere around that, and there is a point where she's like left out to freeze to death, but she doesn't, obviously. So I like the like brutality of the winter and the snowy forest, but like that doesn't tell me anything about the story or anything about the characters. It was just, I kind of have a soft spot for that setting, like regardless of what book it is, I like that setting personally. I didn't feel involved, I didn't feel any sort of connection to the world, the characters, the plot, anything. Wow, I just went off on one really, didn't I? So all of that being said, I still gave it 2 stars, I didn't give it 1. I didn't hate it, I was just really bitterly disappointed with it. In order to get a 1 star, a book really has to like get under my skin, and it didn't affect me that negatively. I was just bored. And as I say, the last 50 pages did pick up, apparently, according to past me, but I now can't remember why, so clearly it didn't infuriate me, but I'm just disappointed by it. Like, the premise of it had such potential for me, and I just think it could have been executed so much better in terms of the writing, but there wasn't enough plot at all. I mean, it's not a very long book, so hooray, but like, that plot was seriously lacking, and depth to the characters. As I say, I couldn't tell you anything about them other than what side of the war they're on and what their, well, not even what their names are, because I couldn't remember. Aliens, whatever. So yeah, I couldn't even tell you that. So that really, to me, speaks volume. Like, how forgettable this was speaks volumes to me. I'm gonna stop rambling about this, but if you want to chat to me about this book at all, then please do down below, or DM me or whatever if you fancy a chat about it. I don't want to spoil too much and go off on a rampage completely, but that's my thoughts on this. 2-star, disappointing. I'm underwhelmed. Thanks for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I'm hoping to bring Book Babbles back a little bit, so yay. But yeah, I will see you in the next one, whenever that will be. Bye!